what you get.
20.
Nice.
Bartlesby.
17.
Ulf.
16.
What's your initiative bonus?
10.
8 plus 8, 16. Ulf, what is your perception bonus?
8.
Okay, looks like you go first. The spiders are everywhere. A vast swarm of them blanketing the floor of the sanctuary. What will you do? What will you do?
Oh, I'm first?
Yes, okay.
Sorry,
My apologies. Partha. Sorry, Partha's first. My
I thought it
apologies.
was like a
Is there only one way out of here?
Yeah, he was lowest.
Seemingly, there is back through the doors, but if you recall that up in the geologist, the Ellister's the chief geologist, has another way out of here. Down below. Somehow.
But out of this specific room, I think he was referring to.
Yeah, out of this specific room. So I'm gonna start looking on the other side of the room, like, for a way out. Be like, there's gonna be a way out of here.
For an action point, you may attempt an awareness test.
An awareness test. Okay.
This will be challenging.
It'll be challenging. It'll be 30 because I'm ignoring one skill rank. And a 52 won't do it.
Panic, you're looking around, but you don't see anything save for the ruinous sanctuary.
Okay, and out of complete fear, as I am at 12 corruption points, I've been scared by many things, and I'm going to channel my chaos alignment of mayhem. I'm just going to unload this blunderbuss into the crowd of the spiders because I don't know what else to do.
It's a trivial test.
Hey, fire.
Well, I don't know about that, but all right. So that'll be
Simple range.
simple range. Trivial will make it 80, and 37 will succeed.
Blam! You fire the blunderbuss immediately as spiders go spattering everywhere, and the swarm remains unharmed.
Yeah.
As they quickly begin crawling back forth once again, as you dispatched a handful, but nothing happens. You have one action point left.
I'm gonna say, I don't know of any way out of here. So I'm gonna drop the blunderbuss and I'm gonna start moving towards the.
Hustle toward the doors.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Hustle. Yeah.
Okay. You still have 3 more. How much your movement?
8.
8? Okay. You make it to the doors. Ha! And we turn now to Bartlesby. It is your turn. Alack and alas, it is your turn.
Alas. Not as far down the corruption, but I am definitely at corruption 6. So I am towards martyrdom. So, Bartlesby goes, find an exit! As he swings the torch down at the
Okay.
spiders that are covering the floor.
Make a trivial test.
81 probably will not make it. No. So, I have a 50. Trivial would make it. Oh, 80. I'm 1 off.
Ah. You got a fortune point.
Dude.
There's 3 left.
You know what? I have a really good chance of getting it. So let's do it.
Oh, yes. I'll take that as fortune point.
And that time I get it.
Alright, so roll 1d10 plus 1 damage. Sorry, 2d10 plus 2, my apologies.
Also, is this a brawling type of weapon or no?
No. Totally improvised.
I don't know. It's worth a shot, right? So that's an 8 and a 2. So 10 plus 2, you said? So 12.
Okay. The swarm is moderately wounded as you dispatch some of the... as they kind of curl up on their backs and their legs, kind of come over their abdomen as they are quickly scrambling back and forth as you are now engaged with them.
Okay, and so that was 1 for an attack, right?
That's right.
So then I will go ahead and look around as I can, possibly try to spot if there's
Make a challenging awareness test.
anywhere for them to go. So challenging, I have a 40 awareness. Challenging is going to put it at 30. 32.
Want to roll that?
No.
Okay. You can't say anything! You can try again.
No idea. And then I will, don't have leadership. I do, however. I don't know that this will work, but I'm gonna attempt to intimidate with the torch towards the spider horde.
Okay.
Alright. Lit the
What's your current damage condition track at?
I'm good. Oh no, I'm lightly wounded.
Lightly wounded? Okay, it's
I
going
am
to be
lightly
challenging.
wounded.
Challenging, intimidate.
Challenging into. Let's see what happens.
Scare him.
I'm gonna try to scare him. Okay, so I have 60 intimidate. Challenge puts it at 50. I got a half and half chance, and a 28 will do it.
Unfortunately, these try as you might to scream toward the spiders and shake the torch vigorously at it. They are mindless. They cannot be made to. The effects of which would affect the mind will do nothing as you stomp and storm and holding the torch.
At least I know I wasn't intimidating.
Oh, that's right. Oh, what will you do?
The display is quite inspiring, and I will take to looking for an exit as she suggested, or as he suggested.
Challenging awareness.
Challenging awareness will be a 40.
Actually, I'd assist that because you're the one who discovered the papers of the chief geologist.
Okay, 40% chance to succeed, and that's a 13 with the actually. Yeah. Oh no, it's a 33. It's a critical success.
Oh yeah, let's take that.
Wow. So not only do you find the place how to get out of here, you retain an action point, giving you so you have 3 action points, and you see it as Ulf points toward where the stone altar was, where the corpse of Ulysses Coventry was, where the spiders are at. He points toward where you can see that there's actually a slightly ajar door in one of the alcoves, a wooden door. That must be it.
Okay. I will.
It's only 10 yards away.
All right. I will move towards that direction.
Just hustle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I have 3 action points.
You do. Run?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
As you begin to run, you feel upon your neck something crawling for an opportunity attack.
Ah.
Oh, spiders! Oh!
I thought I intimidated
Oh, a
them.
critical success! I
Oh,
rolled an
no.
11. Oh my god.
but you do have +3 damage threshold.
Yeah.
That's right, because you're running. Well, not yet. Opportunity attack occurs before your action.
Does it?
Yep.
Ooh.
4 plus, 12 damage. You feel the sting. Oh! Ooh! Ah! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Oh, I didn't have a chance to dodge or anything. Oh, it's an opportunity.
Opportunity attack.
Yeah.
You feel the hundreds of tiny bites all on the back of your neck and the stings of their fangs. You get them, and you're kind of trying to get them off you. And they seem to be biting you in all the worst places. As you stumble, running toward the door, and suddenly you see him kind of stop at the door and wave his hand over like this.
Did I take any damage?
12.
Oh, 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So I am slain.
Oh, you don't have another fate point, do you?
Nope.
You see Ulf collapse to the ground upon hands and knees, falling over onto his belly, and spiders begin to swarm over him. Unless somebody has
give
a
you
fate
a
point they want to spend in place of him.
Of course.
Okay. Ulf says, "No!" Ulf grabs. Or sorry, Bartlesby grabs Ulf and pulls him out of the spiders very quickly off the ground.
It's not your time, Ulf.
So Ulf, you're back on your feet quickly
Okay.
as you remain at your current damage condition track.
All right.
And then the spiders get to go. And they crawl up on every surface and every wall and every crevasse and attack in a burst. for a 35, which hits everyone. Do you have any action points to dodge, to parry?
No.
No!
You may use this to attempt.
Okay. I'll use one to attempt to parry.
Okay. Your fortune point of spin is now 3 misfortune in my realm. Your chances are trivial.
Okay. Actually, I have to roll to see if I use 2. I did not.
That's good. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cursed.
What was the difficulty? Coordination? Routine? Okay. So that'll be a 55% chance to succeed. That's 59.
Not today.
Not today.
Alright, you suffer 7 damage.
Okay,
That
I
doesn't
am
quite kill you.
grievously wounded.
Hey!
That's everybody suffers 7 damage. Everyone.
That hits my threshold, so I still take it, right?
Must exceed your threshold.
Oh, well then I'm...
Must exceed your threshold.
I'm moderate.
Okay.
Does that threaten a injury?
Nope. Can't inflict injuries this way. Oh! You see that Ulf is fading fast, but he has clearly found the exit. Partha, what will you do?
I will run towards the exit.
If you do so, you must run through the swarm.
But I'm not right by them now, right?
No, the swarm is between you and that door.
Yeah. So, I mean, fuck it, let's do it.
Do it!
Run through them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you factor in your run, by the way, for your damage threshold when you just took damage?
Plus
Yeah,
3.
this.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I didn't take damage because it.
Hey!
Remember, it lasts until next turn. So,
Hell yeah.
Partha, you run through the spiders and make an opportunity attack.
What page is drugs on?
48, a miss! You stomp on the spiders and come to the other side by the door where he pointed out. What kind of drugs are you looking for?
Red cap?
Red Cap's +1 damage threshold if you imbibe it.
And then I have laudanum, which I think ignores or
No,
restores,
Laudanum restores your damage condition track by 1 step. Alright, so Partha runs through the spiders toward the door at the back of the sanctuary. Bartlesby, it's your turn.
So everybody's at the door.
No. You and Ulf are not.
It's running towards another door.
That's right. There's a hidden door back behind the sanctuary that Ulf found right before he almost died. It is about 6 yards away from you. And to get there, you must cross through the spiders.
I will hold and let Ulf go first.
Okay. Ulf, what will you do?
So I have to go through the spiders. Jeez. Does it look like I can jump over them? They're all on the ground.
Absolutely, you can maneuver through them.
Okay.
So don't roll any dice.
Okay.
Spend 1 action point to spend 2 action points to maneuver, and it's 6 yards away to the door. What's your move?
My move is 7.
You may quickly hustle over there, away from the spider. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ah. You're kind of tiptoeing around. Oh, yeah, disgusting. Oh, ah! As you're stomping on them, you come to the door.
I suppose I didn't need to run, but it's more fun that way.
I found a spider. Look at that.
Ooh.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a spider. It's not a spider. It's a piece of his hair, apparently, and
Hair and lint.
And lint.
A
So
lot of that.
you come to the other side. So that leaves Bartlesby. What will you do?
Now that everybody appears to be at the door, Bartlesby will maneuver his way across the spiders.
Okay.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Get away! Stomp, stomp! And you quickly come to the door. To the door you're at. Will you go through it?
Yeah, because I don't want to be messing around with no spiders.
Yucky.
Well,
Yeah.
Bartlesby will be the last one through the door, thank you. So, I'm going to hold an AP.
You need no action points to hold before you escape the spiders. You come to the door. You can feel the cold air bracing against you as you descend downward. There truly is no other option. But you know as you hold these papers in hand and Ulf is on death's door that this must be the way out. It's the
And
only
Ulf
way.
laudanum.
What's that?
I'm handing Ulf a laudanum.
Seriously wounded. Okay.
So now you're moderately
This
wounded.
could help.
You imbibe the laudanum. You see his eyes dilate and suddenly, you get tunnel vision for a moment as your vision kind of realigns for a moment as you're now clearly high.
That's
Gain
3.
1 corruption.
1 corruption.
Who cares?
Uh,
Partha, would you care for some?
Yeah. Anything to make this easier.
Yes.
So laudanum for Partha as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody gonna be high. Except for me,
1
I'm
corruption, and
Yeah.
you go up 1 step of the damage condition track.
Worth it.
13.
We don't have a barber surgeon.
You feel pretty good. You feel a little lighter on your feet. You feel the stress and the fear kind of wash over you as you take a moment as you slam the doors shut. And there's this twisting stairwell that descends down, down, down.
Stay inside the torchlight. They seem to avoid it, but let's go.
Clearly, there are spider webs through here, but no spiders as you set flame to them, Bartlesby.
Trying to look for any torches that might be left in sconces anywhere. Candles along the way.
No.
Any kind of light.
Whoever trafficked through here did not leave any sort of light in their wake. No half-burnt torches, no tallow burning in alcoves, no hanging lanterns, just a twisting, winding wooden stairwell that creaks beneath your feet. And as you're going down, you can feel once again, you can feel the trembling of something deeper within the chateau. The stairs terminate in an old wine cellar. You can see what would once hold casks that have been shattered and broken. Heavy framework that would be used to hold half tons in place. You can feel a wind passing into here, almost like it was coming from somewhere else deeper below. But as you have your torch in front of you, of course, you can see somebody chained to the nearby wall, or to the not to the wall, to the wine cellar, the supporting beams. A wan-looking man, pale and sickly, with purple veins visible through his malnourished skin. Most of his hair and teeth have fallen away, and as you approach, he shies away from the light that you carry.
Can you speak?
What? Geister. He says something in a tongue you do not understand.
Wait. Again?
Common tongue, he says. You! Come closer so I can see you.
What did you just say?
Closer, I can't see you from where you're at.
No, coming, but what did you just say? The phrase that you said out loud.
The Painted Lord. As you approach, you realize that his eyes have been stitched shut. He's wearing rags. A small tin, almost like a pie tin, filled with kibble or other remnants of some unmentionable meat are within it. A half pitcher of water is nearby. He's clearly being kept prisoner. He looks toward you with his eyes completely stitched shut, but still kind of shies away from the light. You're not them. Either that or my ears deceive me.
Hey, we're not them. Who's them?
The knowing Kokra, the painted folk. You do not have their smell or their sounds. I can smell leather, I can hear it stressing. You're wearing clothes. You're not from around here, he says.
No, we're not.
phrase you said? Cochrane, whatever, that one.
The painted folk, he says.
That was the thing written, wasn't it? The thing that, in the sanctuary, no, the shrine. The shrine!
I didn't know.
It appears to be so.
There's a thing written in the shrine.
It must be what has been chasing us.
Chasing
Are those
you.
the purple-blue folk? Is that what you're talking about?
Arches a brow. As you can tell, woman, I cannot see anything, but I can sense them all around us.
Well, I assumed at some point you might have been able to. Are they the ones that did this with the eyes thing?
I blinded myself
What?
to see into the nether.
Well, I don't know what sort of kinky stuff you're into, but I don't think that's necessary in order to see there. But
To take away your earthly sight, to look through your third eye, to see her in all her great glory.
Her.
Adlagnaga.
Who's
She from beyond the stars.
Do you know the way down below?
Below what?
Below,
The mountain?
below the wine cellar, the caverns.
you know how to get out of here?
Below? You mean beyond? He smiles with a toothless smile.
Beyond. Yes.
Beyond the pale.
No, not beyond the pale. Below the castle.
I'm really more interested in
The
escaping
chateau.
here. Just like here, not there.
You can see Bartlesby gesticulating, but it doesn't seem to really pique this man's interest as he is blinded himself.
So, do you have any interest in being set free from your chains? So you're here because you want to be.
Would that I could strike them, I would, but I know some great reward awaits me soon. He turns toward a hole in the wall where the cellar is clearly collapsed and open into a deep cavern.
Is that the way out?
It is the way in. He smiles.
Men are speaking, I guess that's true. Can you lead the way?
Do you know?
I cannot see this world.
Say, you can speak Autumn. So, would you lead all the nine cockerel here?
No,
What's your name?
I was called Alistair. He smiles.
Alistair.
I was a geologist in my time. Before I saw True.
Isn't that your book you found?
We found your diaries upstairs.
You did?
Yes.
I tried to keep them hidden from Lord Chauncey. It's not to spoil the surprise.
Is this the surprise?
Well,
This?
What
think-
became of Lord Chauncey?
I could not say.
Of course not.
cannot or will not.
I suspect that he is to be given to Adlagnaga now, a tasty morsel for her freedom.
Oh,
Can you see that?
wait, so he's to be given to Adlagnaga.
Living as he is still.
Bartlesby's gonna look and see if there's any kind of alcohol anywhere still in this wine cellar at this point.
Certainly, yeah.
Hell yeah, getting a drink.
Okay. He cracks a cask open and grabs
Not
a
getting
nearby
drunk,
bottle.
just
Yeah. It's like uncork something and begins to drink heavily.
just hold it out towards Carla.
Yeah, she'll do the same.
Lord Chauncey was unwilling to blind his mortal sight to see into the other world. He
Imagine.
was not as wise as me. The painted folk, they keep me, fearing me perhaps still to some degree, but I know in my heart of hearts that I shall join with Adlag Naga soon.
And so you said that's the way in, and is that where Adlag Naga will be?
And she comes from beyond, an earthborn angel.
So,
Gravid with light and life.
Aha! Yes, sir.
When you were studying, do you remember the way to Sanctuary?
Oh yes, I spent many months there.
Does it lead to a way out? An exit to the chateau.
There are only two ways through this mountain. Through the sanctuary and through the true sanctuary.
The first one.
What do you mean by that?
Can you tell us how to get there?
Sanctuary is in the chateau. The true sanctuary is beyond.
so
Speaking nonsense.
we've been everywhere we can be.
The only way forward is through that hole.
And maybe Chauncey's there?
I'm gonna be honest at this point. I don't give a shit about that man.
Aye. But, I mean, if he's there and he's chained up as well, then...
He would not blind himself to her light. Try as I would to turn him to the faith. Once I could see, and then I was blind, and then the light of Adlag Naga shall illuminate all to gravidity, opens this world.
Curious thought. Where did you find out about her? Where did she come into play?
Oh,
Did you find her down here?
Spent many years among the Danoin Kokra.
Oh, the painted people. Are they the ones that they're the ones that chained you, right?
For my own safety,
Uh.
with exuberance, and I am filled with jubilation of the oncoming of Adlag Naga.
Uh-huh. Well,
Is he wearing anything?
He's wearing scraps of clothing. He's clearly been down here for quite some time. He smells horrible. He's buzzing with gnats.
honestly, I don't know what else he can tell us. I'm all for just continuing on. Any other questions?
No, he's a bit balmy.
It's not long for this world.
Well, he doesn't seem to have a problem with that. So,
I just want to get out of here.
yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, Alistair, good to meet you. I think. Moving on.
Wait! He stands in front of the hole with the chains attached to his legs. You are not the Danoin Kokra. You have not seen her light. Maybe I can remedy that. As he reaches down behind him and pulls forth this jagged-looking piece of iron. Come to me, pretty, so I can show you
No.
the goddess.
No, I'm good. I like being blind. Not your blind.
Let me open your third eye, he says, and you can see spiders begin to pour forth from his mouth, crawling along his body as he retches and falls upon all fours and stands once again, thrashing against the chains, trying to reach out toward you.
Stay out of reach of his chains.
Yeah.
He stands before you in the hole in the wall.
Oh, he's blocking the way, like we
Yes.
can't get around him.
That's right.
Okay, I'll run him through with fire hardened spear.
Okay.
Keep my distance because it's in 1 yard.
Okay. It takes but a single blow to fell him, for he is completely helpless and blind as he is, as you murder the man where he stands and gain 9 corruption.
Oh boy! 22!
His soft skin is skewered up on the end of the spear and falls before him.
Like I said, y'all are gonna walk away with a
There is a
sword.
almost a sense of madness in her eyes.
That was a bunch of madness.
I wasn't necessarily going to go that far, but
There's only one way.
I get it.
I understand. I understand the predicament we've been in. There's no need to dwell on it. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Hope you find your nether lady.
You'll gain
Alistair.
3 corruption for callousness.
Okay.
Both of us?
No. Just Bartleby.
Yeah.
Catching up.
I'm trying. I'm only at 9. I feel so let down.
As the tunnel beyond the wine cellar is impractically wide. It's easily 2 people tall and 3 people in width. It has been carved with this crude efficiency, indicating you can see boxes of stone and rebraced timber in here. It's clear that whoever was here before, perhaps Lord Chauncey, has been unearthing this cavern. And it twists and winds deeper and deeper. And you could hear these sounds not far from here, somewhere within. What's this tinking sort of sound? There's nothing but the hollow echo of a cavern. And the sounds of slinking or tinking or some sort of sound deeper within.
You hear that?
Yes.
What's it sound like to you?
Sounds like someone's continuing to dig mine.
Well, if there were sapphires down here, and someone heard of it.
It's those painted men.
Yeah.
Most
You think?
likely.
I think they were. They did have this place under siege for them sapphires.
Well, I mean, he said they came. This was their entrance, right? So, obviously they're down there.
So if they came in and this was their end. Oh.
I mean, that's what he said.
Hopefully it's not a dead end.
Be on your guard. If they
No,
see us, they'll kill us. Like everyone else they've killed.
Good idea. And I'll take my arbalist crossbow and I'll load it and I'll get it ready.
Okay. Probably what about yourself?
Got the shillelagh in hand, and I am going to just hold the torch.
The torch is on its very last leg. Ulf,
Don't have much
Ready my
left.
blunderbuss.
packet loaded, prepare it.
Always keeping my eye out for anything I might be able to use for light source.
Fortunately not.
I mean, it's a mine. They might have a torch sconce somewhere.
You watch the caverns looking for anything, and you can see remnants of their mining operation, and it's very well organized. Very well organized. In fact, you can find that people who've been down here probably for quite some time have carved prayers to the covenant gods along the stone. Clearly this was carved out by Chauncey and his people. In fact, you can see that there, every once in a while, you can find like remnants of his house, perhaps a symbol of the tree or the braying ass or something else that would indicate this was carved by him. But the sounds of that tinking kind of is deeper and deeper within. And as you continue your approach, the sounds of the tinking grow closer until you could swear that you hear them just around the corner as the cavern almost turns a slight left twist. And that's when you notice something. You can see rays of light reflecting off the wetness of the walls. Somewhere further down the cavern around that corner, it must lead out.
You think maybe we should just go?
more option. I mean,
Let's wait and listen for just a few moments.
we have some light. Should I put out the torch?
Hush. Listen. Just waiting to hear if there's any speech or anything going on.
There's sound, but you're not really sure what it is. It's very, very strange. It doesn't seem to be the voice of people, that's for sure.
Wolf shares a concerned look with each of his companions. What is it?
I don't care. If there's light and way out, and whatever that is, I can just go.
Never been a fan of the darkness, so
You lead the way. I'm in a bad way.
Okay, I'll take point.
it's good.
I'll follow behind you.
I'll just be sure that when you pull the trigger on that thing, you make sure I'm not in front of it.
I'll cover the room. Put out the torch since we've got light. Maybe save a couple minutes left on it.
Who's leading the way?
I am.
Partha.
Okay. With arbalest in hand, you turn around the corner. That's when you see the strangest thing. A very odd thing, in fact. You're not really sure what to really make of it first. But there is this collection of people standing before this hole in the wall. And the hole is soaringly tall, almost the height of 3 men. And it looks like there's quite a bit of few boulders around here as well. They've kind of unearthed, and mining picks all over. And these people are covered head to toe in blue and purple woad, blue and purple paint, completely naked men and women. And they seem to be just kind of swaying in motion. A collection of 9 of them in front of this hole in the wall. And you can see something stretching through the stone, trying to dislodge itself from the cavern wall. What do you want to do?
So, what do you think we should do? Should we just...
Let's just sneak around by it. If they see it, I'll pull the trigger. If they see us, I pull the trigger immediately.
So we're gonna try and just...
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna try and get out of here without them noticing us.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if we could just paint ourselves and if they would notice.
Have to get naked. I don't think I'm...
Death or that.
When we get outside, we'll freeze to death. So, yeah. We're not gonna do that.
I'll sneak forward.
It's just an option.
Yeah, we're gonna try and sneak forward, sneak by them and get out of here.
We'll
Okay.
need to attempt a fail forward stealth test. This test is secret. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, it's not secret, my apologies. It's easy.
Easy?
Easy. Okay.
65.
65.
65. Alright. 61.
I'm gonna use a fortune point.
Oh god.
Last fortune point.
And we'll see. Okay. I'll take it.
Critical success. It's a 1.
You need not make any more tests. You're a critical success. Ulf is moving very close as he's kind of got his back to the wall, scared to death. Your next test for Bartleby and for Partha is routine.
55.
Yep. 55.
Oh no!
99.
Oh my god!
88.
Well, good news and
Well,
bad
Wolf, you're good.
news. See ya.
The one with no fame points. Is
As
not
you're
making it.
walking by, Ulf, and you feel you're almost out of there, you realize you turn toward them. One of them stumbles, and you're not sure if it was Bartleby or Partha. And
We
suddenly,
fell over each other.
the 9 people wearing head to toe in paint stop moving. One of them turns its head toward you.
Can I fire the trigger?
Hold on. You do nothing yet because you do not have any level of surprise on them
Okay.
because you got 2 crit failures.
Yes.
One of their heads turns slowly and you realize that their eyes have been stitched shut. Men and women. Vision. You hear this voice, and one of them steps between all of them as they all kind of turn upon heel, and you can see this pale, pink-looking man who's powerfully muscled and covered in scars, wearing no clothes and has but a bit of blue paint across his face, with a very clearly Aradane haircut, and his hand, upon his hand, a single golden ring. His eyes are wide open. Death, he issues. And with that, the painted folk grab their mining picks and begin mining the stone wall furiously to unearth whatever is beyond the stone, as something dark and strange is trying to reach through the stone. Eight. Once again, same initiative.
Do it.
Partha, what will you do? You are within mere yards of the painted folk, and as you get a good look at the one among them who is pink as a babe and speaks the common tongue and has a silvery brown beard, you realize that it's Chauncey.
I see them. Okay, so I clearly see something trying to break out of this, right?
Something beyond the stone is moving, yes.
And
It's like you can see bits of powder kind of in the air, bits of rock kind of crumbling down from the wall, and you can see the painted folk have picked up their mining picks and they're mining furiously at the stone.
Okay. I am going to try and stop them from releasing something that could be moving. I'm assuming it's something large, right? Like.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna want to stop them from releasing this, and I will pull the trigger on the arbalist crossbow at one of the ones that are mining.
Okay.
And for a few shillings more, I will make my first attack with a ranged weapon, never miss.
Okay.
They cannot dodge, parry, or resist the attack.
Okay.
And I also add an additional d6.
Roll damage.
Okay. And that's a total of 6, plus 8 is 14.
Nice. It is moderately wounded. Roll a d6 fury die. Cast it.
4.
Oh, no injury.
And let's say, we're running over, stopping this, as I start reloading the arbalist crossbow.
Okay. Alright, that now brings us to Bartleby. Bartleby, what will you do? You're about 6 yards from them. They're all mining the stone wall furiously.
The one that he hit, did it appear to even stop trying to mine, or did it?
Well, no, it got blasted right in the arm, but the crossbow continues working. He staggers for a moment and picks up the mining pick and continues doing what it is trying to do.
Is there any other exit, or is it just continuing?
As you're looking around, you can see at the far end of the tunnel, there is a blinding white light. And you can see growth on the ceiling and on the floor, green growth. It must lead outside. It must lead to the lake.
You said I'm 6 yards away?
6 yards away from the painted folk.
Okay, I will...
The light is 45 yards away.
I will move to one that's close, and I will go ahead and swing at... I will take aim.
Okay.
And I will swing at it with my shillelagh.
Ha! You bring it down. As they're mining, it's a trivial test to strike. They are so engaged in trying to do their
That's
bidding.
a critical success.
Nice. Roll damage and add additional d6 fury die.
Look at you.
No, see, I can crit both ways. I don't... What is the damage on my shillelagh?
1d6 plus brawn bonus.
Okay.
It is a brawling weapon.
Well, and then I have Mortal Kombat.
So you can do injuries and good stuff.
I'm gonna do my brawn bonus. So it's 8.
Plus an
Plus
additional.
additional d6.
6 explodes. 5, so that's plus 11, 19.
Whoa! As you drop, as you tag one with a crossbow bolt, he quickly runs up and clocks him in the back of the head as the painted folk is slain. There are 8 remaining.
Okay, I'm gonna say they have to resist a takedown because of
They're
beatdown.
slain.
Right, but
Yeah.
I don't think that counts.
Bartleby brings the shillelagh over the head, cracking it quickly, sweeps the leg out from underneath it, and brings it down to a killing blow. So you have 1 AP left.
Well, I took aim.
That's right. Okay.
Took aim, move, attack.
That's right. Oh, what will you do?
Ulf looks down the barrel of his blunderbuss and realizes that he doesn't have a clear shot without taking out his friends. So
You don't have a clear. That's right. You don't have a clear shot because Bartleby is up there, and Partha is also in the way.
You can, for shrapnel, you can always make an awareness test, but you have to fire it if you fail.
Bartleby doesn't care.
all right,
Hit me.
I'll attempt to take a shot with an awareness test.
It is a secret test.
Okay. All right, so I have a 50% chance
I have
on
to
my
go for
awareness.
martyrdom. I'm gonna save this world.
And I rolled a 56.
All right. You think you got a clear shot. Bartleby's moving around. You can see that Partha is trying to load her crossbow. You could have waited with the blunderbuss holding on to it. And then...
55% chance.
Okay, that's trivial.
Trivial. Okay. So that's a 85% chance. And I rolled a critical success.
BLAM! You pull the trigger. Everybody is hit. Except for Bartleby and Partha! Roll damage and add additional d6 fury die. Remember,
Hell yeah.
gunpowder has exploded a 1 and a 6.
Okay, so their damage is still
Combat
D6.
bonus plus d6. Add
That's
additional
good.
d6 fury die.
So it's 9 plus 5 is 14.
Nice. They're all moderately wounded. Roll 1d6 fury die.
It's a 1.
Cast die, sorry. Cast die. Yeah.
1.
No injuries.
Yeah.
Boom! You can hear the sound ricochet, and the sound all goes boom, 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 boom. And they kind of stagger back, shot with gunpowder, with something bad. Unfortunately, it does little to abate their work as they're hit with boot nail and rock and gunpowder, and the blunderbuss is smoldering in hand as they pick up their picks and they continue in their way, unobservant of their own safety.
I'll start reloading.
Okay. That
And take
means
4 AP total.
suddenly one large boulder drops on their turn, and you can see this smooth, black, slender, shiny blade, almost like telescoping, dripping with some ichor, scratch into the ground. Bartlesby, what is your perception bonus?
My perception of 5.
Partha, it's your turn. What will you do?
Bertha continues to finish the load action on her Argyl's crossbow, and then will start to move towards the exit. But I'm
What's your
imagining
move?
if I'm strafing, it's 8. Imagine I still have some of them in range.
Yeah,
She's trying to put distance. She's trying to get towards the door, but keep them in range of her crossbow.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, so you're 8 yards away.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's all 3.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you're, I'm sorry. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to load for 2.
That's right.
I'm hoping to fire and
That's
use
right.
punishing next turn.
That's right. That
So-
makes sense. As this happens, the smooth, telescoping, strange blade, oozing ichor, slashes out toward Bartleby above. As it, you can see it coming. Death from above! Death from above!
Oh no.
Answer critical hit. Oh.
Bye, guys.
You cannot dodge or parry. But you suffer 11 damage.
Oh, that's only 1. Okay. I am moderately wounded.
Okay, roll 2d6 chaos dice. This is vicious.
4 or 5.
Okay. You see Bartleby stagger back, but he is still alive. Now, Bartleby, it's your turn.
I'm going to take aim and swing at the next one that's closest to me.
All right, you wait for a moment. It's a trivial test.
3.
As you sweep the one beside you off of its legs, you raise the shillelagh once again and bring it down to crown the painted folk.
So that is 9 damage.
Nice. Alright. It is seriously wounded. Roll 2d6 chaos dice.
3, 2.
Okay, no injuries.
Damn.
You're trying your best to defeat the painted folk as quickly as possible.
So that is take aim, and that is attack, and I'm in a hold AP.
Okay. Now we move to Oath. What will you do?
Continue reloading.
For all 3 AP?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You reload your weapon. You're remaining 45 yards away from the exit. As does Bartleby. However, Partha is getting close. Then suddenly another boulder falls as they continue their work. Partha, it's your turn.
Okay, Partha will take a shot at them.
Okay.
At one of the ones, picking
Right.
at the wall.
They're working as they can to free whatever's beyond that. Roll a trivial test.
Trivial will be 80%, and a 30 will succeed. And I would like to use a second action point to enact punishing.
Nice. All right. Roll damage.
Okay.
Roll beautiful bean footage.
Oh, a 2 and a 1 is a 3, plus 8 is 11.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's still pretty decent. She's got a good combat.
Grievously wounded. Roll 3d6 chaos dice.
2 of them. There's a 2 and a 5, and a 3. Nope.
Damn.
No injury. No injury. brings us to...
I'll spend 1 action point to reload.
Okay, sure.
Yep.
Doing your best to load quickly. Furiously reloading. And then it is the thing's turn once again. You see 2 of them. As it has a great reach with these telescoping barbs that drip ichor as one comes toward Partha and one toward Bartlesby. Bartlesby! 33 crit success again.
Gonna try to dodge.
You cannot parry this or dodge this. Is a crit success, so it's 11 damage again.
Seriously wounded.
Okay, roll 3d6 chaos dice.
3, 6, 4.
Suddenly you realize you're not feeling so good. As you look toward Bartlesby, you can see these purple traces coming up his veins on his neck as you have been poisoned, and suddenly Bartlesby's legs give out from underneath him. As he falls, paralyzed, you cannot use movement actions. As for you, Partha,
Crit success?
We don't.
a critical failure, actually.
We don't have any fortune points,
88.
right?
We don't.
Well,
No.
grim resolve. Never mind.
Yep. Those rerolls were used for a lot of other things.
That's right.
Oh, poor Bartlesby.
So what happens?
It stabs one of its own followers.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
This
Actually.
gives you just a moment to collect yourselves. As... Why not? Give you an extra action point, everybody, on your next turn.
Cool.
Yeah. The spine comes down, striking nearby as you kind of get that just a mere moment to collect yourselves and do something. So that now brings me to Bartlesby. Bartlesby,
I'm on
have
the
any
ground.
anti-venom? You are poisoned.
I have laudanum.
Bartlesby is on the ground, unable to move his legs as he's kind of struggling against it.
Wait, I have no tinctures to ignore an injury, isn't it?
That's
That
right.
wouldn't work. Alright, I'm gonna use my extra AP to pull out my laudanum and use it.
Okay. Clink. You gain 1 corruption and restore 1 step on the damage condition track.
Woo,
Bartlesby
intense.
is lying on the ground, unable to move. Oh, what will you do?
I will take aim and actually
do I
just,
still have my
not
other
take
two
aim,
AP?
just shoot.
What's that?
Do I still have my other 2 AP?
Yes, you do.
Is there somebody that I could swing at from the ground?
Absolutely. You can stab toward a
that's-
nearby ankle.
I'm taking aim and I'm gonna take out one of the sons of bitches near me.
Absolutely. Trivial test.
Crit success.
Nice! You stab one of the painted folk right in the foot. Roll damage and an additional d6
Oh my
fury die
God,
for
that
damage.
was a 66. Oh god, that was a 1. That was a 2. 3. So that is a 10. And they must resist a takedown.
Okay. Oh! You hear the man scream. You crit success, right?
Yeah.
And
You stab one of the painted folk on the ground, and suddenly he staggers back, dropping his mining pick as he is taken off from his feet.
is that because of your talent?
Beat down. I have resist a takedown. When you take aim and then make a successful melee attack, you first force the foe to resist a takedown.
Okay. Next time that happens before you roll damage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's right, because you get the fury die on top
Yeah.
of it.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so that's there. And then,
How much damage did you total? I'm sorry.
10.
10? Okay.
And then...
He is seriously wounded, so roll 2d6 chaos dice.
Nope. 3 and 1.
No injury. And you have 1 action point left.
No, I took aim.
That's right, okay.
Aim, melee,
That's right.
laudanum, dig through bag, right?
Yeah. Bartlesby is doing everything he can to survive. Oh!
I will attempt to make a
There's
shot
nothing else.
and not
Take
take
a
my
secret
friends.
awareness test.
My friends. Awareness will be 50% chance.
Pulling all
And I
these
rolled a
bitches.
77.
That, my friend, is a critical success.
Alright.
Bam! He pulls the trigger once again. On the blunderbuss.
Oh my god.
Roll the hits, trivial.
Okay.
Boom!
75. And it's 57. Success.
Nice. Roll damage at additional D6 chaos die or fury die for damage. Explosion!
Nope.
Explodes on 1 and 6 for gunpowder.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
8, plus 5 is 13.
Nice.
Pah! One is slain, one is grievously wounded. 2, 3, 4. No.
2 are slain, right?
Actually, they're all now grievously wounded. So roll 3d6 cast dice.
Okay.
Okay.
4, 2, and 1.
Roll again.
4, 6, and 3.
Roll again.
6, 5, 2.
Roll again.
Cast I do, thank you. I forgot.
4, 5, 3.
Roll again.
I thought something.
5, 2, 4.
Roll again.
2, 2, 1.
Roll again.
Alright. Come on. There's a 6.
Boom! He pulls the trigger, and as Ulf pulls the trigger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the painted folk collapse in a heap of bone and blood and flesh, as only 3 of the painted folk remain alive, somehow clinging to life.
I'm gonna make my way towards Bartlesby and try to administer the antivenom I have.
So that is, yes, you may. As you step into the thick of it among all the corpses of the painted folk, including those that still stand grievously wounded. That's 1 AP, and then 1 to render your anti-venom. And suddenly you feel your legs tingle and you feel you can move once again.
Ah!
You're alive.
Ah! That's what I do.
Unfortunately,
I'm gonna
as
die.
this happens, the final boulder falls.
Oh no.
And with that, cue up the right music here.
It's sad.
I would say this is sad music, right?
I'm alive! I'm alive! That's right.
It's sad. It was taking a nap.
You feel your feet lift from beneath of you, Bartlesby, as you are alive somehow. You come to your feet.
Yep.
And then it is unleashed. Something that defies imagination. Something that is here and not here. Something that occupies the world we understand and that which we can only imagine in our worst of nightmares. As this great creature, boom, breaks through the rock and all of her gravidity settles within the cavern, and the painted folk that are standing there, including Chauncey, are swallowed by her as her great girth just kind of folds over them and her many, many arms stretch out both to the floor and the ceiling, and hundreds upon hundreds of tiny spindly eyes that are arrested all around her face and her body kind of turn this way and that, looking at you and looking through you. And it is at this point you all must resist a hard resolve test against terror. That's right.
Hard. Okay.
Alright.
55.
Hard resolve.
15.
35.
20.
Nope.
Odd 4.
22. That's a critical success.
Okay.
Bartlesby don't care.
Bartlesby turns around and grabs the whole up and says, "Get a hold of yourself, man!" As you now may make a test that's easy.
Okay.
As you attempt again, an easy resolve test.
Alright, easy resolve will
Bartlesby's
be
like, no.
55.
Bartlesby test resolve. Vigilant.
Vigilant.
Success!
Nice. So nobody failed?
No.
Okay. Oh my God! This great thing, this great mass of something from beyond is standing before you.
Roll a 99 when we try to sneak, but goddamn it, I don't care about that.
And you all immediately get a surprise turn. So starting with Partha, what are you gonna do?
Okay, so describe for me again kind of what I see.
Her form is ever shifting, and really putting a finger on what it is hard to describe. It almost looks like one of those Google Deep Dream bot paintings, as her body is intermingled with these anthropomorphic creatures, chittering insects, disembodied people, baby arms, chattering skulls, and living weapons. She is the nightmare. Doubtlessly, a large creature occupies most of the tunnel, but still providing enough room to escape either back through the chateau, or if you wanted to be really daring, through the tunnel to leave. But you suspect that getting back through the chateau, you'll at least get a head start if you head up the tunnels. But if you try to pass by her, it could spell your doom. What do you want to do?
I have a feeling like if I take much longer, more of them will show up. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, with that, I'm gonna go, run! And, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here with all the mess of weird baby parts and teeth and clocks and shit.
Where are we running? You running outside or the chateau?
That's right. Back from the chateau or outside?
You know, that gate dropped.
It did.
So we gotta go the other way.
So
Hell yeah, that's
so
where
you're going toward the light.
Yeah, we have to.
Bartlesby, what will you do?
Hell yeah, same thing.
Toward the
Run!
light.
Yeah.
Ulf, what of yourself?
Ulf's running outside.
Towards the light. Okay.
Yes!
This is a chase scene to run for your lives.
From a gigantic spider. I love it.
You will gain a head start, which gives you +3. And this is a medium chase. It is 6
Oh my god!
rounds to get away. So hold on before you roll anything.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, I just keep pressing the left side of the big PlayStation button, the huge one,
Yeah.
and I just can't seem to run.
Okay, so Partha is the first to take off, so roll your movement at a d10 +3.
Okay. No, that's a 7 + 3 is 10 + 8 is 18.
Okay, Partha bolts down through. Okay, so what's your brawn bonus?
4.
Okay, so
Mine's 4 as well.
ooh, what about Bartlesby?
7.
7. Okay, you're fine. Okay, so Bartlesby, you begin to run. Roll a d10, add your movement, and add 3 for head start.
7 for movement, +3, so 10 plus 3. 13.
Ulf.
Let's see here. 6 + 3 is 9, +7, 16.
Nice. Let's see how quickly Oddluck Naga moves.
Oh, I wonder.
She seems to phase in and out of existence.
Oh god.
Methinks we can't run faster than her. A thought.
Oddluck Naga is moving at such great and strange speed as she shifts between here and some other dimension. This nightmare seems to make itself known to both Bartlesby and Ulf, but not Partha. Bartlesby, you need you need to at this point. Actually, it's only one person. My apologies. You need to make a routine coordination test.
Coordination.
Yes.
Okay, so 55 coordination. Routine makes it 65. That's an ot 1.
Okay. Whoa! Crit success!
Ot 1.
Nice! Add an additional 1 onto your movement from here on out. And then Ulf, I need you to roll as well.
I was thinking ot 1 was a
What was the...
It is a routine coordination test.
This is the first time I've ever rolled that in Zweihander.
If you critically fail, it's bad.
55.
Well. Plus
73.
Okay. As Ulf is running, you stagger over rocks, twisting your ankle, reduce your movement by 1.
Okay.
Alright. Next turn.
Shit.
Next round. Partha, roll again.
5 plus 8 is 13.
Okay. Bartlesby, take an extraction bonus, of course.
So 6 on the die, plus 1, 7, plus 7, 14.
Nice. Ulf, continue running as fast as you can.
9.
9 movement total. What will she do? We shall find out.
She gonna eat us.
16.
She gonna eat us.
Oh no. Oh no. She kinda... Partha, Bartleby, and Ulf must all attempt a standard coordination test now.
Oh, 45.
55.
Oh no, I just failed it barely. 49.
Nailed it.
Failed it.
You all must reduce your movement by 1 now as you're stumbling over the rock. You can see the light getting closer and closer and closer as you feel you're getting close to the lake, and then you realize that that light was coming from a shaft of above.
No.
Somewhere above the caverns. You stop for a moment and you're like, oh shit, did we make the wrong turn? And then you look around and you can see another tunnel, go that way! As you continue running at this point. Alright, so everybody, go ahead and make your movements. Partha, go first.
Oh no, 2 plus 7 is 9.
Oh no. What'd you get, Bartleby?
14. 7 plus 7.
And then for Ulf?
12.
The thing, you can hear it, you can feel it somewhere in the back of your mind. As you look back, you see your worst nightmare, whatever that may be, as it continues to grab at the rock and pull at everything, nothing standing in its way, and kind of continues moving and almost teleporting through the air, leaving it a bamf of smoke and gray maggots, kind of coming back and forming into this strange-looking amalgamation of a spider and crawling along its way like a child with its hundreds of tiny arms along the interior of the cavern in its great pursuit, as we are now halfway through the chase. Partha! You're running as fast as you can. Oh no! As you realize that it is up on Partha and Ulf, but not Bartlesby. Bartlesby, you're moving at a very steady clip at this point. Partha and Ulf, go ahead and make challenging coordination tests.
35. Critical success.
Just failed.
Nice.
Crit success?
Mm-hmm.
Add 3 to your move from here now. Partha, you
3.
got hit again.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, Partha, once again, you feel rock tumbling over your head as you kind of stagger from it as you reduce your movement by another 1.
Ah!
It is now the 4th round of the chase. Partha, roll.
9.
Oh no.
Oh.
Bartleby.
I think that's cog. Yes.
Reeling.
10, so 17.
Okay, and Ulf.
17.
Nice.
Can I assist Partha in any way?
Nope. You are running on your own for your own lives.
Damn.
Ulf and Partha are getting winded. Next round, you'll have to attempt to resolve or attempt athletics test and not suffer peril. However, let's see if she catches up this turn.
I'm sure.
As it continues, Odd Luck Naga continues in her pursuit. Well, good news is this. Bartleby, you continue moving and you lose sight of them around the corner. As Ulf and Partha once again must now make a hard coordination test.
25. 53 will fail yet
16
again.
succeeds.
Nice. Reduce your movement once again, Partha. You can feel when you run so hard, you feel the cold air in your throat and your lungs. You can feel your throat seizing up, Ulf and Partha. As the cold air from outside is getting close, it's now round 5. Only one round exists. As you can see light. You can see it just outside. Partha and Ulf must immediately make a routine athletics test to not suffer peril.
Okay. 55.
55.
Success.
50 success.
Okay. Stealing yourself, all of you may make your movements once again. Roll your dice, and I'll start with Partha first.
7 plus 5 is 12.
61. Okay. Bartleby, what'd you get?
5 plus 7, 12.
Wow. Ulf?
16.
16, not bad. She is just within mere feet behind Partha and Ulf. Bartleby, you've almost lost them completely at this point. 5, 8,
Gently. This is how life is taken.
Partha and Ulf,
Kind of,
running as you can. You are still being pursued. You must make an arduous coordination test.
Shit.
Alright. 50.
Running for your lives!
Shit.
Failure.
Oh,
You both must reduce your movement by 1. Let me know if you crit fail.
Nope.
Nope.
It is the last round of escape.
Just die at fail.
And you both must now make, because you are, of course, in your past your rod bonus, you must now make a standard athletics test
Yes.
to withstand peril.
Yes.
Chasing!
40.
Ew.
oh God.
Wow, I rolled a 7.
Oh
Nice.
no, Partha! Partha suffers. Oh my god! 12 physical peril. Oh, Partha.
I'm down to ignore 2 skill ranks.
You can feel really lightheaded as you want to try. This is the last roll. So we're gonna do it one by one. We're gonna go backwards this time. Ulf, I want you to roll first.
11. No, 10.
Bartleby.
7 plus 6, 13.
And then finally, Partha.
See this magic.
Roll a 10.
5 plus 4 is 9.
God.
She is within mere feet of both Ulf and Partha. Let's see what happens. As she exists here and there, your final values on Chase, Partha got a 70, Bartleby got an 85, Ulf got a 70, and Unlike Naga got an 86. You all must attempt an arduous coordination test.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
If you critically fail, it is game over.
15.
I have a
Oh,
25.
even. I almost thought I had a 99.
I didn't make it,
Yeah.
but I didn't
Failure.
critically
Die at
fail.
failure.
As you all leave, breaking free, you run toward the lake, out into the light, toward the shrine, and then suddenly you see the entire cliff begin to tremble and shake. and everything, including the chateau, crashes down into the water as this huge wave of water splashes upward and over the entire village as you're running as fast as you can through the snow. And in the blinding light as you're running toward it, you can see shapes passing by you. Dark shapes of people who must be the painted folk watching in great admiration as to what's happening. Catching your breath and pausing for just a moment, you turn back and look toward the chateau. Only the central pillar of brass remains, rising upward toward the sky. This is what you would imagine would have happened if you would have lived. But you see both what life may have looked like and death may have looked like, as you did not succeed in the chase scene. You were all consumed by Adlag Naga and all her great, gravid majesty. As to what impact this has on the main game in the Barrow March, that tale will be told another time.
Pretty deadly.
Let's try some light music.
Actually, honestly, if there was more than 3 of us, it probably wouldn't have been as bad. But with 3 of us, that was it was a little hard.
Not too many targets.
No.
Yeah.
It could still be bad with more.
I think it might have made it a little bit easier to be able to, unless numbers change depending on
Blunderbuss is so OP.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yes, numbers do change. They're actually multiplied by the number of players
Oh,
present.
is it?
Yes.
Oh, so is it 3 times 3 for
Yeah,
the
because like we
ending?
had to face like 18 or something like that.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. The number is multiplied based on the number of players, so you can't game the adventure.
Oh, okay.
It gives the game master details on how to handle all that. And it's funny, this is actually played out in several different ways, this whole adventure has. What were the highlights for you, Kay? What did you really like about it? Because the parts that are really good, I want to key in on. The parts that need fixing, I want to key on those too. But I want to talk about the parts that you enjoyed first and foremost.
Enjoyed. So I would say probably the end exploit and whatever. 'Cause it builds up the suspense and everything, and I feel like that definitely is like a good ending with the chase. What with the chase and with the you have like innumerable people to fight, because honestly in Zweihander 3 against 1 is impossible. So I would say probably that.
What do you think, Nick?
What I liked about the adventure was the growing sense of dread throughout the from start to finish. It's not just the horrible pratfalls that happen at the very beginning, but the pushing further, and it just seemed like we didn't have a lot of options of where to go, but we kept finding a new option, just enough that was horrible, but you kept going, but also like the slow kind of details and world building about what's going on, to kind of like see the mystery of who was there before you and what befell them.
Right.
Just like the doom that just marches on the entire game, and then finally you get to the end and it's just this crazy climax.
Yeah, I think that, and so one thing I really keyed in on, because this was actually written by another gentleman that he had a framework built for. We worked on like 5 years ago, and we went back through. I just rewrote it, and I felt that the good way to kind of make it exciting is to slowly layer on the horror, make it very, very slow and build. So I'm glad you caught onto that. That's good. What do you think, Adam?
I've played and watched it a few times. Actually, I've only watched it once, but I've played it a few times now, and it's certainly improvements. I think any criticism that I know that has been laid out was good.
Yeah, because I think the previous ones were like is inescapable, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The first time I played it, it was damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
And you were along for the ride, which in your Halloween games, that's fun. But yeah, appropriate for the first time someone playing. Maybe not this. It's much much closer. And I
So
believe,
so this iteration is
Yeah.
better than the one we
oh
played
yeah,
before.
yeah, by far. Because in that first version, the players don't really have agency. In this one, I felt like I had agency.
Right.
There was a couple of like scenarios where like there's a couple instances where you didn't really have a choice, but I mean that's in any role-playing game, or any adventure, right? The certain situations, but I felt like I was much more in control the whole time. The other thing that I noticed that was good is that in a game that is focusing on horror, you want there to be a lot of peril, and I noticed that the difference is that you didn't cut out the sources of peril, but you drop down the amount of dice.
Right.
And I noticed a lot of the dice you were rolling were 1d10 plus 1.
Right.
And I felt that was good. So really, at this point, as far as like what I would say is like any tweaking goes, it'd probably be I need to now actually look at the documents and go, okay, this doesn't add up like I would a book.
Right.
That we've written.
Right.
Other than that, like, I had a lot of fun this time around. It was very hard to try and not metagame, so in that way I kind of metagamed in that, okay, let's do something I haven't done before.
Yeah.
Or, like, if I ever was like, okay, I can't be impacting this decision, go at it from the point of we should just leave. Then like I won't be giving stuff away. So that was interesting. And I felt like even though I had played it a couple times and seen it, there were still things that I had no idea that was coming, because they had different ideas, and now we were discovering some new aspect of the.
So obviously, Kay and Nick, you guys have game mastered before. Would you run this? You think for somebody to introduce them to Zweihander?
I think I would with the right group. If someone's unfamiliar with Zweihander, I think that if they're used to like a game like a more heroic style game like D&D, like getting them used to the tone of just kind of like your average everyday people as opposed to heroes, and the chance that there's a pretty good chance they're going to die. Like that's a good way to introduce those sorts of concepts, because that sort of thing is not standard for someone who's not used to Grim and Perilous type stuff. So I think it'd be a good way to introduce it. Yeah.
Do you think it was too challenging?
It's kind of hard for me to answer, because when I play these types of games, I don't, especially with one-shots, I don't get particularly attached to a character. So if Ulf did die, I'm like more interested in like what happens in the way he dies than like completing the challenge or something like that. But I don't think it was particularly that challenging. I mean, it certainly was hard for me because I was imperiled for the majority of the campaign or the adventure, and I managed to succeed moderately well at most checks.
So you still felt you had some level of success?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you think, Kay?
I think I would run it depending on the team as well. If it's people that are used to like D&D and such, I think actually this would be a good intro. I think if it's people who have never role played,
maybe
I've noticed
to advance for them.
Yeah, I've noticed people who have never role played, they tend to put too much stock in if their character dies, then they get discouraged from doing it again. So I would say it needs to be people who are somewhat experienced at least. That
So
would
you
be
think
my
people
thought.
you think people play role-playing games without the expectation of role-playing?
No.
I'm
I'm
confused.
saying because it is a Grim and Perilous game,
Right.
obviously. So that means that death is imminent, most likely for someone in the party. Maybe not the whole party, but someone. And somebody who's new to role playing, like somebody who hasn't really done role playing, they might get discouraged if they see death happen. It's kind of like if a person was new to video games and them trying to play Dark Souls. Like, that's not
It's like
that's not your
hard mode
intro.
instantly.
So
Right.
you're calling Zweihander Nintendo hard?
It can be.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think this one was that difficult. Honestly, if we'd have been a little bit less in character, like Bartlesby was corrupted and his is martyrdom, so he's gonna jump up and try to save the world from whatever's trying to come through that hole. If we'd have just been like poof, and ran, we'd have probably been fine. At least getting away from it initially.
Right.
But so like we were playing in character, so that obviously made it more difficult. But like a normal team, I think that would be fine. But I do think I would run it, but like I said, not new people. And I'm even fine with people who have played like D&D though and stuff, because like I said, this kind of goes, hey look, D&D or this superhero, overpowered OP character, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the difference in a game.
That's right.
So I would say it is. I also though would say that this needs to be like and I know that's what you're using it for, so I think it's good. Like a one shot for.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
for
right.
like, because I would never do this with like a gaming group, But if it was like a one shot at a convention and stuff, I think it's good.
Why would you do it for a gaming group?
I think if it was one of those things where you're trying to get them started on Zweihander, it might be okay. But it was a little bit. How do I put this? Convention games tend to leave out certain mechanics over to the side just because you're trying to get this group through to teach them mechanics and to teach them, and introduce them to the game. And like this one didn't have the social intrigue and things like that. I know the characters, like I was looking through the list, they're kind of tailored to not having like the social aspect. There's no provocateur in that.
Well, of these characters, yes, but there's a total of 10 pre-gens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they kind of run the gamut of social stuff because this game. So on that note, I mean, the one thing about Chateaux is it is intended to be remedial in the sense that it can both teach a game master how to run a game and teach a game master how to teach players how to play it.
Yeah.
But it is carved up in the sense to display some set of some mechanic.
Yeah. But it's not an in-depth.
No, there's not a lot of interactivity. It's more
Right.
so about mystery and trying to escape.
Right, and that's why I would say, like, if this was going to be an ongoing group or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily that this would be my choice for running them through. I think there's probably better stories that could be done. But for, like, a convention setting or a setting where you're going, hey, let's introduce you,
Yeah.
a one-time podcast or like
Right.
I said, convention, or you're just sitting people down to introduce them, yes. But if this is a gaming group that you're like, let's get into Zweihander, I don't know that I would run into this,
Right.
personally. That's just my
So
opinion.
if we invited you to the Twitch channel to run this for people, would you do it?
I could. I wouldn't mind that.
Cool.
I mean, I have like groups and stuff that are
Right.
already interested.
Yeah. So, well, great. That's good. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I really appreciate it. That's super helpful. I think.
Does anyone mention that? I didn't feel this way myself, but I could see other people saying this. That some of the way the game is run, it could be seen as a little railroady.
It's intended to
Hand-holdy?
be.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's...
It is because it's a demo adventure.
Gotcha.
And
That's
That's what
it's meant for convention.
That's why I say for convention
Right.
one-off play, it's good. But if
Yes.
you a gaming group, you don't want to
Right.
handhold like that.
Because if you look at a Bitter Harvest and there's something about Marie, they're nothing like that.
Right,
Yeah.
Bitter
They're not-
Harvest
They're,
is...
they're not linear. Bitter Harvest and
That's what I would introduce. Like, if it's a gaming group that I'm like, we're going to get into Zweihander, Bitter Harvest would be my choice.
yeah.
If it's a, hey, you want to know what Zweihander is, but not necessarily that we're going to continue as this group, this.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it is certainly mission-based or objective-based. I think that's one key thing that you have to that I've kind of learned. I look at other convention scenarios, you have to key in on it. Otherwise, people will dawdle and will never get complete.
Yes.
As an example, Matt Jowett ran this 6 or 7 times at Gen Con.
I think it was 6.
Something like that, and it ran differently for everybody because other people made their different choices. But I think for purposes of like one group, you ran it in 2 hours. One group, you ran it in 5 hours. Just depends on the level of investment from the players. But I think that looking back at the previous times I've played this and the first few iterations of this writing, it certainly seems to attend to some of the things that came up in our previous game, which is inevitability of escape, being powerless, granting agency back to players. Because we used to have a scenario where there's no escape, there's no way you can get out. It was kind of meant to be a death scenario, but that didn't seem fitting.
No.
It felt like the right way to do this was to give people the choice or a figure to basically plausibly escape if they chose to do so. If they choose to fight Naga, well, they got another thing coming because she can't be hurt. The stats are technically in it for her, but unless you have a weapon that is blessed, and there's only one that's in the game that is, which you picked up. So she can technically be hit now.
Nice
Yeah.
I figured that, but I wasn't about to be like, you hit her with
right.
that.
Well,
That's
you
right.
called it a pilgrim staff, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So it is technically the only quote magic item in this game. So you can in fact fight Naga if you chose to do so. You would just have to do it with that weapon.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
only one person would be fighting.
No. Here's how you handle it. You all stand in a line, and then you
hit, pass, hit, pass, hit, pass.
and then the last person has just got to
left
toss it
and
back
Well,
to
no,
the front.
Sail the ride,
See, I'm a
right?
pugilist, so that just means I take aim, hit to knock her down, pass.
Something in me tells me that something that is constantly shifting might have an uncertain
And-
form.
I don't, well, you know.
And 8 legs is kind of hard to knock down.
Yeah.
I could
An
attempt,
uncertain
okay.
form, which
Yeah.
is immune to all perils.
No, the thing about convention ones is you want kind of hand-holdy. Like, you want
Yeah.
it to lead people, because, yeah, he's right. Like, people at a convention, you want to get them
Right.
through.
And the intention
So
of organized play, I think, is the important thing to key on here. Is that organized play is meant to give a new or current game master tools to teach players about the game very quickly,
Yes.
in a short period of time, and walk them through all the different mechanics they can use. It's not intended to be, in this case, there's no real interactivity save for that with Alistair down below, which is technically a social intrigue event, but I cut that out because it was late in the night, and it felt appropriate because we wanted to keep the pace of the game going. To not do that. But yeah, every single sub-mechanic is included in here to allow a game master to explore all these different opportunities. But one thing I am doing in this is including playtest notes, just like I did in Bitter Harvest, to show different ways it can play out. Because I ran this for a few other gentlemen a few weeks ago on Skype, and it played out totally different. Like, they were like uber cautious. They were like playing their characters like they were like their lifelong characters, like fully invested. They were sneaking up on the shrine, like they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So
Hell no, Bartlesby doesn't teach us.
I don't do that. It's a cabin. It's
not-
romantic.
I'm not.
Hello.
I'm not a quiet man.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up, guys. Thank you all for playing. Seriously, this is great. I'm glad we had the opportunity to do this evening. I really wanted to run a complete game of this with our play testers and get your feedback. But of course, thank you all for tuning in. I think you may be actually watching this on Twitch. So thanks for watching our inaugural home game, Grown Perilous Studios. The people here in Kansas City, Adam and Kay and Nick and Tim and Walter and Mike are gone, but this is our home game, and you all will be able to see our Queen of Embers game like super soon on Twitch, which will be super cool.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Bye.
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 Are we doing that?